emotions, that's it. And so it's amazing to think that stories can move people to pay just to hear the stories. Now imagine if you could sell a product or service with your story.
Human beings, we are ingrained to pay attention to stories because facts tell, stories sell. Say it with me. Facts tell, stories sell. So what are some of the stories that you could think of to sell your product and service? It's one thing to say, hey, this is very good, my product is very good, my service is very good, versus how could you come up a story? Now, there are many forms of story. Let me give you some, would you like some examples? Yes? Okay. You could have what I call your backstory, meaning my backstory is how did I get started? I tell my immigrant story all the time because I want people to give you a little bit about my background. Because a lot of people see what I do today, they have this perception. Well, easy for you to say, Dan Lok, right? You drive a Bentley, you live in a penthouse, all this stuff. So if I just show people where I am today, most people, most of the 97%, you see it on social media too, it's nothing more jealousy, judgment, criticism, because most people have a negative association with people who are wealthy. Let's face it, that's why they're broke. But when I share the backstory first, oh, he wasn't born with money. Dan Lok wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Actually, he had no money before. He made it on his own through persistence, through skills, through tenacity. Okay, you have my respect. Does that make sense? So you got to think about that. Now, another form of story that's very powerful, how you can use in what you do, is client story. If you work with clients, you work with customers. How many of you are in business for yourself? Put in the chat. Are you actively collecting testimonials, reviews from your customers? How many do you have happy customers? Yes. Do you do good work? Yes. Why are you not collecting those stories from them? What other people say about you is infinitely more powerful than what you can say about yourself. What other people say about you is infinitely more powerful than what you can say about yourself. So why not utilize those stories? Because what happens is your potential client, your prospect, when they read these stories, they could relate. You know what? This person is just like me. And this company has helped this person gotten whatever results. Oh, I want that too. Right? That's why testimonials, those stories are very, very powerful. Now, you might be saying, well, Sifu Dan, how many of these do we need? Tell me, how many of these do you need? As many as possible. As many as possible. You want to have an overwhelming amount of proof. I'll give you a perfect example. If you go to YouTube, not right now, but afterwards, you go to YouTube, you type in Dan Lok Global Community. We have a channel. You know I have the Dan Lok channel, but I have a sub-channel, a secondary channel, which is called Dan Lok Global Community. You can find it. On there, I'm giving you some powerful secret here. Okay, a lot of stuff I didn't thought I would review, but I'm just on a roll, so I'm going to review it. I'm giving you some bonuses here. That you go to there, the entire channel, it's all stories. It's all success stories, testimonial from my students from all over the world. The entire channel, from different walks of life, different background, different age group. different problems, how they overcome those. How many of those do I have? Not 20, not 30, not 50, hundreds. And we're uploading how often, Ed? We're uploading how many? 3 a day? 4,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, we're uploading 3 news stories every single day. We're uploading 3 success stories every single day. And we have probably 500 in the backlog that we haven't uploaded because we don't want to overload YouTube. So we thought we'd upload 3 a day. Yeah, just go to YouTube. Dan Lok Global Community. You'll find it. It's all there. See, that is a very powerful way to communicate stories. So instead of me saying, hey, look at me, how good I am, I'm the king of high-ticket sales, I say, you know what? Don't look at me. Look at my students. Don't listen to what I have to say. Listen to what they have to say. And they when they go there, it is so overwhelming. When you have so many success stories, I have actually students who joined High Ticket Closer. I know they email support. They say, you know what? I stumbled upon the channel. I didn't even know who Dan Lok is. I stumbled upon the channel. I read all these stories from all these people. I'm like, I don't care what it is. I want to join. They don't even know what it is. How many weeks, when the course starts, it doesn't matter. They read the stories, it connect, it resonates with them at such a deep level because facts tell, stories sell. After they watch those videos, they're like, I'm in. I'm in. You see the power of this? The power of this. So think about how you can use that in your own business. So let me give you an example. Now, this is the Wall Street Journal ad. The Wall Street Journal ad. Ed, can you do me a favor? Can you read this for me?
You got it. Dear reader, on a beautiful late spring afternoon, 25 years ago, 2 young men graduated from the same college. They were very much alike, these 2 young men. Both had been better than average students. Both were personable, and both, as young college graduates are, were filled with ambitious dreams for the future. Recently, these men returned to their college for their 25th reunion. They were still very much alike. Both were happily married, both had 3 children, and both, it turned out, had gone to work for the same Midwestern manufacturing company after graduation and were still there. But there was a difference. One of the men was manager of a small department of that company. The other was its president. What made the difference? Have you ever wondered, as I have, what makes this kind of difference in people's lives? It isn't a native intelligence or talent or dedication. It isn't that one person wants success and the other doesn't. The difference lies in what each person knows and how he or she makes use of that knowledge. And that is why I am writing to you and to people like you about the Wall Street Journal. For that is the whole purpose of the journal, to give its readers knowledge that they can use in business, a publication unlike any other. You see, the Wall Street Journal is a unique publication. It's the country's only national business daily. Each business day, it is put together by the world's largest staff of business news experts. Each business day, the journal's pages include a broad range of information of interest and significance to business-minded people, no matter where it comes from. Not just stocks and finances, but anything and everything in the whole fast-moving world of business. The Wall Street Journal gives you all the business news you need when you need it. Knowledge is power. Right now, I am looking at page 1 of the journal, the best read front page in America. It combines all the important news of the day with in-depth feature reporting. Every phase of business news is covered. I see articles on new inflation, wholesale prices, car prices, tax incentives for industries to major developments in Washington and elsewhere. The journal is also the single best source for news and statistics about your money. In the money and investing section, there are helpful charts, easy to scan quotations, plus abreast of the market, heard on the street, and Your Money Matters, 3 of America's most influential and carefully read investment columns.
Now, I want you to think about this. What's the beginning of the ad? What's the beginning of the ad? Tell me, put in the chat. That's right. It is a story about 2 people. It didn't start off, let me talk about the column that we have. Let me talk about the stock tips that we have. No, it is a story. And this little ad, this storytelling ad, sold $2 billion worth of Wall Street Journal subscriptions and ran from 1975 to 2003. $2 billion worth of subscription using the power of story. I want you to think about, what if they just sell the Wall Street Journal as it is without a story? Hey, we have X amount of pages every month, every week. We have these columns, we have all these writers. Could they have sell as many? When they, and also they, not just a story, I'll give you some, a very bonus tip. They also use contrast. Two people, one who subscribed to Wall Street Journal, one who doesn't. Now, suddenly, with stories, why stories are so powerful? Why do we love movies so much? It's because we feel like we can be part of it, yes? When you watch a movie, right? When you watch a scary movie, you're like, oh my God, like your heart is pounding, right? You're like, this is so scary, right? When there's a ghost, where it's a killer, like, oh my God, right? Or you see an action movie, like explosion and jumping off the building, like, whew, right? This is so exciting, right? Adrenaline is running. Because human beings, is very easy, when we hear stories, we want to put ourselves in it. So with this particular ad, why is it so powerful? The copywriter is not saying that, hey, you need to read this if you want to be more successful. He's simply saying there are two people. And one made this decision, who's a subscriber. One didn't make this decision, he's not a subscriber. And immediately you're thinking, oh shit, I don't want to be the ones who don't subscribe, be a fucking loser. I want to be one who subscribes and be successful. Or in order to do that, what do you need to do? You need to subscribe to Wall Street Journal. And then, because we buy because of emotion, we justify with logic. So now they get us emotionally involved. Now now let me explain to you in the ad exactly what you get. Okay, good. We buy because of emotion, and we justify with logic. You with me? We buy because of emotion, we justify with logic. Good, okay. Advanced copywriting sequence number 5. This is very, very important. Remember, it's not about copywriting. It's not about writing. It's about what? Closing. And how do you close? How do you close? You write the way that you talk. You write the way that you talk. Now you notice, if you have read my copy, email, or FU Money, how many of you, when you read FU Money, if you read FU Money, you can feel I'm talking to you. It's like we're having a conversation. Yes? That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because I am talking to you. I write the way I talk. When you write the way you talk, it's much easier to connect. How many of you also read like textbook? Remember back in school? Like those boring, long textbook? Like it's so fucking dry. You're like, oh my fucking God, this is so boring. Yes, right? Now, when you read that, you don't feel like the author of that textbook is talking to you. It's talking over you, right? It's talking like passively, or I don't fucking get this shit, right? It's still writing. But why is that? Because they don't write if you look at those textbooks, that's not how you talk. You don't talk like you're like, you're writing a textbook, right? You're going falling asleep. The biggest sin that you could have when it comes to copywriting is being boring. So write the way you talk. This is great. Because when you talk, for most of us, you don't use very complicated, complex words. We talk like we talk, right? So Whatever you learn in school, grammar, all that, throw that out the window. It doesn't matter. Like it has to be all grammatically correct. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Can I ask a question?
matter. Yes.
I'm sure there are people who are with us right now. They're thinking, hey, but my industry, I got to be professional. You know, I work with lawyers. I work with business owners, right? I can't just write the way I talk. Don't I have to use big words and then be all professional, right? Like how they taught me in university?
Hell fucking no. Even doctors. Have you ever seen doctors writing? Even think
like
about
a robot.
yeah, think about that. Even I can tell you, like I have done business with big time CEOs, highly educated, big company. They want stuff simple because their life is complex enough. Don't make it difficult for them to read your message. Keep it simple. Now, just because you keep it simple doesn't mean you don't keep it professional. They're two different things. They're not the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, you gotta make it easy for them to. Of course, if you're a doctor, yeah, use the doctor verbiage, but don't fucking use like words that it takes them a long time to process. Because when they look at your shit, they look at your copy, your message. Okay, this is going to take me a lot of effort to understand. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna put it aside, and they're gonna say, "I'm gonna come back to this." But guess what? They don't come back to it. They don't come back to it. So you need to grab them right there, grab their attention, hook them in, make it simple. So it flows. The purpose of a headline. What is the purpose of a headline? Tell me. What is the purpose of a headline? The purpose of the headline is to get them to read the first paragraph. The purpose of the headline is not to make the sale. The purpose of the headline is to make them read the first paragraph. That is it. What's the purpose of the first paragraph? Tell me. To read the second paragraph. You're good.
Damn. A lot of smart people.
You're getting it. You're getting it. Right? It's not to make the sale. But how many of you have seen ads trying to make that sell in the headline? Or they're trying to make that sell in the first paragraph? How many have seen dumb ads like that? That's not what we do. So forget about like proper English. Of course, you want it to be decent English, but it's not what we learn in school. You write the way you talk. You write the way you talk. Ed, can you do something like do a very proper textbook? Give me a message. Do it like bad. Do it boring. Do it like professor bullshit. Or Steven.
Okay, I got an idea. Good afternoon. The precipitation today in the atmosphere is 95 degrees, and there's a 25% chance of rain. So,
right?
It's like there's no connection. There's no. It is not relatable.
Okay, do the same message. How can you make it sensational and direct and simple?
There's a 20% chance of rain. Grab your umbrellas.
Boom. How you make it emotional? There's 20% chance it's gonna rain. You'll be soaking wet. Ah, now you paint a picture in their mind. See that? You see that? It's those words, those emotional words, right? It's hot. It's boiling hot. You see how adding that one word creates a different image in your mind? Just one word. See, that's the power of copy. One little word creates an entirely different emotion. One little thing. You see it in your mind. And when you're writing copy, a lot of the mistakes that a lot of copywriters make is they use a lot of I or a lot of we. we are this and we are that, and use no. When you are selling, when you're closing in print, ideally you want to have use a lot of you, because what's in it for them, right? WIIFM. What's in it for them instead of using I. So use a lot of you. You should, if you read a copy, you should have like 2-3 times more you than I. Focus on you. Another mistake that a lot of people make is they are talking to groups. Think about this. Let's say you're reading a message on a web page, or you're reading a direct mail piece, you're writing an email, you're reading an email. When you're reading a particular message, a marketing message, chances are, at any given time, only you are reading it. Yes? It's one. It's one person. So it's a one-on-one communication. It's very critical. It is one-on-one connection between you and the copywriter, the person who's sending the message. So if it's one-on-one, why do you talk to them in groups? Why do you talk to them? It's like if I'm talking to you if I'm writing copy, I'm talking to group. In your mind, subconsciously, what you're saying is, who are these people? Who's this group you're talking about? It's only me in the room, only me on the computer, only me reading this letter. Talk to them one-on-one. That's why I use a lot of you. You use a lot of you. Having that one-on-one communication. Talk to them one-on-one. You also want to use short sentences, simple words. If you're on my email list, you'll see our paragraph is short. We don't have like a 10-line paragraph because it's very difficult to read. Readership is important. Readership is important. Make it simple. Make it simple. I'll give you a perfect example. Again, this is, can I give you a bonus? Can I give you a bonus? It's not part of today's teaching. Okay. Whenever I'm speaking to a large group of people, I never, ever, ever use ladies and gentlemen. How many have heard of this before? Right? At a wedding, at a conference, people say, ladies and gentlemen. Yes? You can watch every single one of my fucking video. You will never, ever see me use that term. Why? Because the minute you use ladies and gentlemen, I've lost the audience. This is deep. This should be like a public speaking then on demand course, but maybe in a couple months. When you use ladies and gentlemen, your audience who's listening to you in a public setting, in a group, where you are seeing a group of people. However, your audience is having a one-on-one connection with you because they only see you on stage. So they are having a one-on-one communication with you, but yet the speaker is talking to the group. You see this? So think about this. If I am a man, I am sitting in the audience, one-on-one, would I come up to you and say, one-on-one, ladies and gentlemen? Would you walk up to a person, a friend, and say, hey, ladies and gentlemen? You see how stupid is that? Right? Like, I'm not a lady. And TikTok, same thing, you're talking to a lady. I'm not a gentleman. What the fuck are you talking about? And definitely, you are not ladies and gentlemen. Like, what, you're half man, half woman? What is this? You see how stupid that is when it comes to communication? Yet so many people make that mistake. So subconsciously, what happens is, it might sound okay, so many people use it. They walk up to the station, hey, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you lost me. You don't give a fuck about me. Because I'm not a lady and I'm not a gentleman. And I'm definitely not half lady, half gentleman. I'm not interested in your message. Subconsciously, you've already tuned out before you say a fucking thing. You've lost the audience. You see how this works? One-on-one. It is the same skill when it comes to copywriting. Talk to them one-on-one. Don't talk to groups. Talk to one-on-one. Imagine when you are writing, when you're copywriting, I like to do, I'll give you a visualization exercise. When we are writing, you want to think of a person almost sitting across the table from you. And you visualize your ideal client, your ideal prospect. And you just write to that one person. If it's a man, it's a woman, it's a doctor, it's a lawyer, just one person sitting in front of you. How would you talk to that person? And you write. I'll give you another tip. I'm giving you a lot of like bonus. It's not all, none of this is like all, I'm going like the extra mile for you. That if you're having trouble you're struggling with writing, talk. Just imagine your ideal prospect sitting in front of you. You talk to that person. And what you do, you record it, and then you can go to any of these sites and you can transcribe it. You transcribe what you say because you write the way you talk. Then you take that as almost a starting point, a template. And from there, you can do any modification, any editing that you want. But you've got a nice piece starting from there. You see how this works? Yeah, you can go to rev.com, rev.com. That's what we use as well. So if you don't know how to write, that's a very good way to do it.
I was just going to say, Sifu, do you mind if I add something real quick?
Anytime. Just jump in.
Back when I had a ton of copywriting clients, like a lot of times what I would do, and I'm sure Ed does this, and any great copywriter, they would do this too, is they would just, normally when you get on the phone with your ideal prospect, you just ask them, hey, look, is it cool if I record this call with you? And normally what I would do is I would just start asking them questions about like, hey, look, tell me about the problems that you go through. Tell me about what you've tried in the past. Tell me why it hasn't worked for you. All these different kind of questions that get them to start talking just about their problems and the kind of solutions that they're looking for. And 9 times out of 10, all the best copy comes directly from the client or the customer or whoever you're talking to. So that is something that I've used. I use it every single time that I can. And, you know, sometimes the person you're talking to, it's not always going to come out perfectly, right? But then you just keep on digging. You just keep on asking, hey, can you tell me more about this? Can you share? Can you go a little bit deeper about why you just say, wait, hang on a second. Could you just say that one more time? What do you mean by that? What do you feel when that something like that happens to you? Right? How does that affect your family? And then you start asking them these deep questions. It's very similar to what, if you're a part of HTC, you know Sifu teaches you this. Again, it's closing in words, right?
Yep, closing in print. Again, the website is rev.com, rev.com, rev.com. You can upload the audio and they can transcribe that for you like very, very cheaply, whatever, how much per word. We use that all the time. So closing, it is about closing. So keep it simple. Now, by this point, you thought like writing, copywriting is a very complicated thing. Now, do you feel a little bit more relief? Okay, I see, I'm getting this. It's just the way I talk, right? It's easier than you anticipated, right? It's not as complex as like, oh, I thought I gotta be all proper and all professional and my English has to be all perfect. None of that. None of